أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear viewers, once again Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our series on MTA Kids Time. Here we bring you a program here in MTA International Gambia Studio with the kids. And as we all know, we are in the holy month of Ramadan. Today, by the grace of Allah Almighty, we are starting a very important and vital series which is regarding prayer, one of the most fundamental pillar, the most important pillar in Islam. Therefore, we are going to run you through in this series, and we are going to discuss a lot of issues that is going to help us as Muslims. So it is essential for you to stay with us and learn from this series that we are going to discuss with. So to let you know, we are going to be using a book that is the title, The Muslim Prayer. It is a very, very important book. This book deals with prayers. So without wasting much time, please, as our tradition always demands, we start the program with the recitation from the Holy Quran. So let's hear the recitation from the Holy Quran by Sister Tahira Ifofana, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أتل ما أوحي إليك من الكتاب وأقيم الصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. Translation. In the name of Allah, most gracious, ever merciful, recite that which has been revealed to thee of the book, and observe prayer. Surely, prayer restrains one from indecency and manifest evil, and remembrance of Allah indeed is the greatest virtue, and Allah knows what you do. Salam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You just heard the recitation of the verse of the Holy Quran, and this is, as I said, what we are going to talk about. So we are going to discuss about the important and the essential of prayer, which as a Muslim, it is practically impossible for you to be a Muslim without offering prayer. First and foremost, we should understand the primary purpose why Allah Almighty has created us. As I always say, the Creator is the best determiner why He created. So therefore, Allah the Almighty is the best to determine why He created us, not so. So Allah the Almighty created us, and He has made it very clear, crystal clear, that the purpose why I created you human being, it is no other reason but to worship me. This is found in Surah Zariyat. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. I haven't created a man or the jinn except for you to worship me. This is the purpose. So therefore, the purpose why Allah created us, then we should do our best. You being an elderly person or a young person, as far as you have reached the age of performing prayer, you have no excuse. Because in our program, in a later part of our program, we will see the impact and the essence of prayer. And it has already been highlighted from the Holy Quran. The verse that is just being recited by Sister Tyra, it says that prayer has been, understand, prescribed for us. And the Holy Prophet is being told to recite those revealed verses. And he said, "Wa aqimis salata." Why? That means establish prayer. offer prayer, stand for prayer. Because why? There must be a reason for that. And the main reason and the best thing you can get from this, it is why? Inna salata tanha anil fahsha'i wal munkar. This is the primary purpose or the benefit that you can derive from prayer. It what? It distance you. It helps you to get rid of everything that is indecent, immoral, and is hated in the sight of Allah Almighty. Sin, evil things. This is what prayer can do to you. So therefore, the best way we can get rid of sin and get closer to Almighty Allah and to fulfill the purpose of our creation, it is by offering prayer. If your prayer is intact, if your prayer is in order and is observed as it is being prescribed, then automatically it can help you to get rid of your sin. And say, wala zikrullahi akbar. The remembrance of Allah is the greatest. Wallahu ya'lamu ma tasna'un. Allah knows what you do. So therefore, let us concentrate on prayer. About prayer, it has been repeated so many places, in so many places in the Holy Quran. Even the second surah in the Holy Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, in the opening verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ba'da a'udhu billahi minash shaitan rajim. It says, Zalikal kitabu la rayba fi hudan lil muttaqin. This is a book. There is no doubt in it. You cannot find a single fault in this book. And it is a what? Guidance for the righteous people. Allazina yu'minuna bil ghaibi wa yuqimuna as-salata. To be a righteous person, you must have these qualities and attributes, characters. You must believe in the ghaib, something that is unseen, beyond the reach of our eyes. And you offer prayer. And when you look at all the prophets, almost the first commandment Allah the Almighty give them is prayer. In Surah Taha, regarding Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him? Innani anallahu la ilaha illahu fa'abuduni wa akimi salata lizikri. I am your Lord. There is no worthy of worship except me. That is I, Allah. That is what Allah the Almighty said. And worship me wa akimi salata lizikri. Offer prayer for my remembrance. And this is considered the first commandment to Hazrat Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. You see how important it is. Therefore, as Muslim, it is important that we offer prayer. And in prayer, offering prayer is not, okay, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says you offer prayer. No. There are conditions. There are things that you know that it can spoil our prayer. There are things that you know when we do them, we will get the benefit and the blessing of prayer. There are things when we do them, we will get half and half. So if we want to get the pure blessings of Allah Almighty and the benefit, then we must offer the prayers as they are prescribed, as we are taught to them, taught by our Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa, Khairul Alamin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He says, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. He said, offer your prayer as you see me offering prayer. Because it's the first source. He's having direct link and communion with Allah Almighty. Allah the Almighty taught him how to pray. So therefore, that is why he advised every single believer to offer the prayer as we have seen offering the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam offering the prayer. If you did not see him physically, you can see him in his writings and his reports. That is hadith. And even the Holy Quran. That's the greatest testimony of the life and the existence of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So therefore, there is no room. You cannot be a Muslim much more to be a believer if you don't know how to pray. And this is why it is essential in this series as young people, as young children, so that before you can get that matured, you know how to offer your prayer. And you start driving the blessing and the pleasure of prayer, and you get used to it and get the training right now before you reach the age where you know that it's going to be very difficult for you to get the knowledge and the training. So therefore, let us concentrate on prayer, and let us do our best to make sure we know every single thing that is regarding importance of prayer. I want to narrate the hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding the importance of prayer. Can you imagine? It is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. He says, "Inna awala ma yuhasabu bihi al-abdu yawm al-qiyamati min amalihi salatuh. Fa in salahat faqad aflaha wa anja. Wa in fasadat faqad khaba wa kasira. Fa in intaqasa min faridatihi shay'un qala ar-rabbu azza wa jalla unzuru hal li abdi min tatawwu'i fayukammala biha man taqasa min al-farida thumma yakunu sa'iri amalihi ala zalik." On the authority of Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah the Almighty and Sublime be He, says, the first of His action for which a servant of Allah will be held accountable on the day of resurrection will be his prayer. The first thing. What did I say? The first account is going to be your prayer. Not so? So therefore it's very important. In the day of judgment, when we all return to Allah Almighty, and we all know we are going to return to Allah Almighty one day or the other, right? And Allah is going to judge us, is going to account us. What have you been doing? Have you spent your life according to what I asked you to do? Have you been offering your prayer? This is the first question. Allah Almighty is going to question the servant on the day of judgment. So can you imagine how important and essential this question will be? This question is going to be so important in your life, so important in you, that to the extent that the Holy Prophet Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, he said, if they are in order, then he will have prospered and succeed. This question, the first question. If your question of prayer is okay, that means you have been offering your prayer intact and according to the commandment of Allah Almighty, and according to the way you have observed the Holy Prophet offer the prayer, then you have prospered and you have succeeded. When you succeed, what happened? Paradise is for you. But the negative aspect of it will be, if they are wanting, then he will have failed and lost. Meaning if they are still demanding, meaning they are not completed, meaning you still need more to add on them to be completed, then you have get lost and you have failed. May Allah protect us from that. So see how essential it is? If your prayer is in order, your everything has been okay. You know why? The verse has said it, Inna salata tanha anil fahsai wal munkar. All the other problem, all the other evil things, if your prayer is intact or in order, it will prevent you from doing that. It will prevent you from sin, it will get you purified, and it will get you closer to Allah Almighty. Then what else do you need? So our prayer is important. Very, very important. But that is why prayer is obligatory upon every mature Muslim man and a woman. For children it is not, who are underage. What do we mean? Somebody who cannot differentiate good and bad. It's not obligatory on them. But then the Holy Prophet ﷺ also give a guideline on how to train them for the future. He said, if the child is 7 years, try to go along with them and ask them to pray. But if they are 10, you have to force them to offer their prayer. That is to the degree of the importance of prayer. So viewers, I think you can see how essential our prayer will be in the day of judgment in the face of Allah Almighty. That to the extent that the Holy Prophet ﷺ in Hadithul Qudusi, which is next to the Holy Quran, that is a direct revelation to Holy Prophet ﷺ. It's not recorded in the Holy Quran though. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is here making it very clear. In the day of judgment, the first thing a servant will be asked is his prayer. If his prayer is in order, everything of his aspect is in order. But if his prayer is still wanting and demanding to be completed, then therefore that individual have failed and he have lost. May Allah protect us from such. It is essential. Let's train our children. Let's train ourselves first. Offer the prayer regularly and offer it as Allah the Almighty want. And offer it as the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli. This is very important in our life. As Muslim, it is practically impossible, as I always said, it's practically impossible for you to be a Muslim. You are not offering prayer. What is the difference between you and the disbelievers? And this is what the Holy Prophet ﷺ said. The difference between a believer and a believer is what? Or a Muslim and a non-Muslim is prayer. If you leave prayer, you are the same. So let's focus on prayer, right? Thank you very much. So viewers, this is what time allowed us. As I said, we have started a very essential and important topic, which is prayer. So please stay with us so that you can see the benefit that we derive from prayer and why so much stress have been laid on prayer. Even in the Holy Quran, repeatedly, so many times, Allah the Almighty is saying, offer your prayer. And the same to the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So therefore, we pray and we try to do our prayer in accordance with the desire of Allah Almighty. I was your host, Syed Sambaso, here in MTA International Gambia Studio. Until we come on your way next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.